family of technologies which did not exist in 1944. Obviously, the place to start was in the image itself, from the dream which I used to talk about then, of being able to take a wallet out of my pocket and perhaps open the wallet, press a button, close the wallet, and have the picture.
Dear travellers, and welcome. You were just hearing the voice of one Edwin H. Land, born on May the 7th, 1909, in the east coast town of Bridgeport, Connecticut, who would grow up to become a physicist and later inventor of Polaroid technology. Before we go any further, I must say, the packaging that was done on this camera is amazing. Nice work, guys. Makes me think I need to lift my game when it comes to packaging up gear. Anyway, Edward Land unveiled the first commercial instant camera, the Land camera, in 1948. So today we have the privilege of looking at the famed sx70, a feat of design to be marvelled. Get comfortable, my little gems, this is going to be quite an adventure. A two-hit wonder, Brooklyn-born Robert John peaked at number 3 on the US charts in 1972 with his rendition of The Lion Sleeps Tonight. It was also in the year 1972 the first one-stepped instant camera known as the Polaroid sx70 was born. The sx70 was designed from the beginning to topple the barriers between the photographer and his subjects. Models. Although various models were offered, all share the same 4-element 116mm f8 glass lens and an automatic exposure system known as the electronic eye. The camera allows for focusing as close as 10.4 inches. That equates to 26.4 centimeters in a rational person's unit of measurement, and has a shutter speed range from 1/175th of a second to more than 10 seconds. The Model 3 departs from the other models since it isn't a true SLR, but instead has the viewfinder. But most remarkably is this complicated folding design that is still unrivaled to this day. This is very apparent when you have the camera in your hand. It was and still is a marvel to behold. The film. If you're not aware, the sx70 film is rated at 160 ISO. Not to be confused with the Polaroid 600 film that is rated to 640 ISO. Now the newer I-type film with all the special editions won't normally work in the sx70. You will need to make a few modifications to get them to work and meter properly. It's definitely not impossible to do it, and there are a lot of great YouTube videos that explain how to do it. When I first ordered the sx70, I did a lot of research on using I-type film in the sx70, as I was determined to get those special editions. But after a while I started to lean back towards the standard sx70 film. I prefer the tones and overall aesthetics of the sx70 film. I no longer have any urge to customize my camera to suit I-type. The film is very expensive and comes in color or color negative. The main thing to note is that the film is a bit unstable. My advice is to buy the film from a reputable camera film shop and keep it refrigerated. Honestly, don't cheap out. You've spent a ton on the camera, so if you want to get some images out of it, you need to get good film. There's no doubt that the sx70 was a popular camera at the time. It even became a popular tool for many photographers and artists alike. Ansel Adams is one photographer who used the Polaroid system to capture the American West in all its grandeur. Also, Walker Evans, who was known for his black and white images depicting the Great Depression. He went on to use the Polaroid in his final years of his life. So what exactly has made Polaroid so tempting for artists? No doubt the ability to work instantaneously would benefit any artist, but also the sense of community that is present within the Polaroid scene is inspiring. And surely the colour science that Polaroid has is a large contributing factor. No two images are alike. Each Polaroid feels like a personalised piece of artwork. Fun fact! The Lion Sleeps Tonight is a song originally written and recorded by Solomon Linda and the Evening Birds under the title Mbube for the South African Galo Recording Company in 1939. Solomon Linda's original recording was done in Zulu and was later covered by many different American folk artists and became a #1 hit in 1961 on the American charts. Well, as you enjoy this historical masterpiece, let's go through some shots. Please note that these images have been scanned on a cheap home scanner that doesn't do the images any justice. Now it's time to get creative with some artistic black and white images. I want to now give you my impressions of the camera. Firstly and most importantly is the film. There is something magic about instant film, and if you haven't used it before, then you are in for a treat. And if I boil it down to its most basic form, what I love about instant film is this. The film is capturing the actual light that's coming off of your subject, and that light is combined with a chemical reaction that develops a finished final image that hasn't used any ones and zeros. It is truly an analog image with all its perfect imperfections, even if that means you lose a frame or two. And this image now exists in this physical reality.
Big deal, Slaps. I can print out my digital images whenever I want.
I know, and you're not wrong, but how many of us realistically do? And to add to that, there's something very tactile to having a Polaroid picture. There's a little tab down the bottom for you to hold the image in your hand. Do you have any old family photos? The ones that are creased and faded. The edges are a little furry, and there's sometimes a pencil inscription on the back that lets you know some basic details about the person in the picture. If you do, then count yourself blessed to have them, because chances are those photos have been passed down from generation to generation. Your parents, grandparents, or great-grandparents have held that same image in their own hands and would be amazed to know that you are now looking at them. This is how I see Polaroid images. My kids will inherit a giant box of family photos, and the legacy will continue. Something else I'd like to briefly mention is why choose Polaroid? Why not Instax? Honestly, I think Instax is sharper, it's cheaper, it's more consistent, and the colours aren't bad at all, although more on the cooler side. And that Lomo square camera is so cute. The only reason I ended up choosing the Polaroid over the Instax was because of the image size. I prefer the square 6x6 style image, and the Polaroid is larger than the Instax square. And add that to the beauty of the sx70 and it's a no-brainer. For me, this camera is easily my favourite camera, and I can say that confidently for the following reasons. It's pocketable. It's beautiful to hold and shoot. The viewfinder is the best I've ever seen. The rangefinder patch is great. Has a glass lens. I love the simplicity of its design and functionality. It shoots film. It shoots instant film. And those instant film colours and aesthetics. But of course, there's no such thing as a perfect camera, and the sx70 is not immune to that. In my opinion, there is only one thing that holds it back, and you probably already know what it is. The price of the film. But maybe we can see it this way. A Polaroid picture isn't a printed image. This is a one-off, instant, chemically developed film image. To put it into perspective, what other option would you have to create an image not using a digital printer? And how much would that image be worth to you? Okay, well that's it for me guys. It was a bit of a long video, but that just goes to show how much I love this camera. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Have you owned one? Are you thinking of getting one? Or are you thinking of going the Instax? Either way, let me know guys, and like always, I'll catch you on the next one.